How are you, everybody who is watching this video? My name is Olenjolaim TAYAI from United Republic of Tanzania. My name is Olenjolaim TAYAI, right? My name is Olenjolaim TAYAI from beautiful, fantastic country that's called United Republic of Tanzania, or in short you can call just Tanzania. I would like to welcome you into our official YouTube channel that's called the Online Undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania, in square bracket Olenjolaim. So this is our official YouTube channel. It's online, it's not a physical institution, it is online institutions, or it's online university. In these official YouTube channels, I will just spend a few minutes to give you a little introductions concerning about what are we doing in this online platform. So it happens that when I was doing my undergraduate studies some years ago, then I have faced many challenges on mastering engineering and scientific mathematics subjects or modules. We had 4 modules in 8 semesters. It means that for the 8, because my course was for 8 semesters, but we have to learn 4 modules in 4 semesters. So when I've been learning, I've been encountering many problems caused by the different factors. So also, similarly, my classmates have experienced the similar situation that you find we are learning about engineering and we are still having a lot of struggle in engineering and scientific mathematics. So the problems are after my graduations or during my studies also have been teaching I've been teaching my classmates, and also I've been teaching some other students who have been pursuing the modules of engineering and scientific mathematics. So when I was teaching also, I experienced similar problems that students undergraduate level who are studying applied, I just call it higher applied engineering, higher applied mathematics, they encounter a lot of challenges. And some of the challenges may be caused because of the bad teaching method that is used in your institutions or in your department, and can be caused by sometimes poor arrangement of the contents that have been arranged not in systematic order. It means not in sequential order. So you find some of the contents have been arranged roughly. And some of the problems have been caused by the students themselves, that they don't spend much time on getting preparations for the engineering or scientific mathematics modules. So then after my graduations, I thank God that I did well in engineering mathematics and scientific mathematics, but I still have something in my mind that, okay, I thank God that I have graduated myself, but I used to see some of my classmates and even other students who did the engineering programs next after me, they used to have supplementary exams, and even some of them they used to use corruptions and even illegal ways in order to cross the borders or in order to pass the exams, the continuous assessment and the final exam for undergraduate level. So to my side, I went to school to solve problems. So it has been a problem in my mind. How can I help generations after generations? Then I thank God, by His revelations, He revealed a year ago about this technique or this method of using digital platform when I can record it a live class, just like the normal physical class that I used to teach, because I've been teaching undergraduate students for 5 years consecutively. Okay, so so the best solutions is now I can record a live class and use the internet to spread the message into first of all, to store the message for the future generations, and secondly also to teach a large number of students. Possibly I have estimations of 10,000 students they can be benefiting from this program. So that's the main objective. So our main objective in this online undergraduate, these abbreviations of undergraduate and these abbreviations poly undergraduate and these abbreviations of polytechnic institute, these abbreviations of Institute of Tanzania, Olenjolaim. So in this one, our main objective, we want to help students who are pursuing these modules, or some of the modules, some of the engineering and scientific courses, but they have engineering and scientific mathematics. They have to make sure that they understand all the concepts that are required in engineering and the scientific mathematics. So we'll be training them. I will be using different teaching aids and different teaching techniques in order to make sure that they take those complex ideas or complex questions and even complex concepts and break them into simpler and simpler so that you can manage them for the rest of your life, because we are engineers and we are scientists. We have to use the knowledge from our core modules in order to solve the real life problems. So mathematics is the queen of engineering. Let me repeat this sentence. Remember that mathematics is the queen of engineering. So if mathematics is the queen of engineering, it means engineering is the king of what? Of mathematics. So know that relationship, and you have to think about that once. But again, we'll teach students to think differently, and even to think how they can apply the classroom knowledge to solve real life problems. So we'll teach you how to think differently. And even we need that we are very serious in this program, and we need students who are very serious. So that is the main objective and the purpose of these official YouTube channels. I believe that you've understood. So again, we say that these programs is focused for undergraduate students. I have some other official YouTube channel for the diploma level, for the A level, which is for advanced level, for O level, ordinary level, ordinary secondary education. So you can see the links in introductions of this video. Again, a second thing which I want just to make, this material might be used worldwide, might be used by any undergraduate students in Africa, in any country of Africa, in America, in Asia, in Europe, in Australia. It might be used for any students who are studying engineering or science subject in North America or in South America or in Asia, in Europe, as I say. But you know that different universities and institutions and colleges, they have different curriculums in engineering and scientific mathematics. So there's a little difference, but remember that mathematics is universal. So the mathematics that we are studying in the United Republic of Tanzania is the one that has been studied in Harvard University, the one that has been studied in Oxford University. The only thing is the contents might be different. So in order to have a focus for myself, that I've decided that I'll be using the two curriculums. In Tanzania, we have two authorities which have been authorized by the government to execute, to design, to plan, to just rectify, and even to analyze the syllabus for undergraduate studies. And there are the two, as I said, that NACTE and the TCU. So TCU, so today our focus is focusing on TCU. These are the abbreviations of Tanzania Commission for Universities. The main concept or the main focus of TCU is guiding or accrediting different universities and colleges, okay, and schools, maybe schools of engineering, so college of engineering, you see, and some of the institutes, even minor institutes, in order to make sure that when students graduate, they have to achieve knowledge based, while NACTE executing and accrediting institutions which actually that when the students graduate in the year curriculums, then they should have a knowledge we call it competence-based knowledge. The competence-based skills means hands-on. So that is our focus today. So we are in TCU. I have also, you can also watch in case that you are under NACTE, okay, in your institutions is under NACTE. I have also 4 modules. I used to teach 4 modules under the NACTE curriculum. And so in TCU, we say that there are different engineering and scientific universities. One thing which I found in common when I've been visiting different prospectus, you find that in many prospectus, or in the prospectus of engineering or engineering and scientific scientific courses, you find that all of these institutions, or most of these universities and colleges, they used to have, first of all, they used to have 4 modules in most cases, and even they used to have similar contents. However, that for myself, in order to be focused, I'll be using the contents of the University of Dar es Salaam, because that's the oldest university, and even, yes, the oldest university, and even some other universities, they used to take some of the concepts and some of the contents from themselves, because they have practiced the possibly engineering and scientific science more than any university in United Republic of Tanzania. So that's the second piece of information. Again, the third piece of information, how can you join? Means how can you get connected or in touch with this program? Now you see that, yes, now I'm first year undergraduate students or second year undergraduate students, so you want to enjoy the beauty of engineering and the scientific mathematics and even some other courses that will be taught in this YouTube channel. That's a good question. So the way that you can get connected is actually that you have to at least to follow at least 4 steps, which will make you to enjoy, and even not yourself, even the members of your families and your classmates to enjoy it. Number 1, you have to sign in YouTube with your official email, for example, Gmails or Yahoo Mail, and then you have to press the buttons as written subscribe. This button has a red background, and then as soon as after you click, you find that it is subscribed. So it changes and becoming the gray background, and here at the ends you find the letter D, and the bell will appear. So select the bells and select the options of all. So there, once we add any new video, because we are going to post more than hundreds videos in this YouTube channel. So once we upload any video, whether midnight at any time, then the YouTube community give you official notifications once you get into the internet, or you used to, once we call it just you are online. That's number 1. Number 2, also you have to click these software buttons. We call it show more, and this we call it descriptions of the video. So you have to make sure that you're reading all the descriptions. It means that descriptions of the video, because you can find even some other more informations concerning about a particular video. Okay, so if you, for example, in many videos, you'll find that we just explain simply what the video about, but also we invite you, in case that you feel from your heart, this is an expensive project. It has initial cost and even still have a high running costing. I don't have freedoms to share with you that how much does it cost you, but in case you feel from your heart that you want to offer God your Thanksgiving offering, because for me, everything, my initial, and any investment that I've made in this project is my offering to God through all the Tanzanians and even all the undergraduate students. So I don't charge you any amount of money, but in case you feel from your heart that you want to contribute in something in order for, as a part of running costing for this program, you are warmly welcome. And then you can also, when you read the description of the video, you'll see 2 ways that you can send your seed or your Thanksgiving offering by using the bank accounts, and also you can use the mobile transaction. That's why that on your right side there is this Thanksgiving offering. So you can send it through this number 0759745331. And the registered name is Olenjolaim TAYAI. That's the second piece of information. The third piece of information, you know that we want this stuff or want these materials to help hundreds, or not hundreds, thousands of undergraduate students worldwide. So make sure that you share this video in your social media. You share in Instagrams, in Twitter, you share it in your subgroups, you share it with your classmates, you share it in local messages. So make sure that you share with anybody who you know that will benefit with these programs, or know somebody who will benefit from this program. But also you can like or dislike this video, and then yes, I accept whether you like or dislike. I accept all of your choices. You are the one who has to decide. Again, the fourth thing now is very important part. My physical lectures are incomplete if I don't allow students to ask questions. Regardless that maybe I'm teaching 200 students, at least I used to allow even 5 to 6 questions in a single lecture of 2 hours possible. So it means that 30% of my sessions, in my physical sessions, I used to allow students to ask me questions, because one way of learning and understanding the contents that has been taught is by asking questions. Even that, the strong technique that God has been using to teach me a lot of things, by asking questions, what the meanings of this one, why this is like that one, why does this does not work, why this does not work, etc., etc., etc. So in any field, you can apply that technique, that you learn yourself to ask questions, to reason. It means that you do things by reasoning, asking many questions as well as you can. So you can ask me questions online, it means by using the digital technology online, without the, not physically, by using these comment sections. So the comment sections, you can use it to ask questions. You can use it to answer questions that have been asked by other students, just like in a normal class. A second students, maybe for example, Asha can ask her questions, and then Anna can answer his or her, can answer her question. And then so you can use the comment sections also to read the answers have been answered by the answers of the answers of the different teachers or different students who have answered different questions have been asked about that particular content. But also, you can use the comment sections to submit your homework. In every session or in every lecture that I'm going to teach you in these YouTube channels, I will be leaving the homework for you so that you have to do it, and then you submit your solutions in the comment sections, and I'll try my level best to see what you've done. So those are the simple procedures. Make sure that you do them. You won't even spend 3 minutes to do all of those steps that I've recommended you to do. So let us come back to today's video. So the videos, we have 3 departments. We have currently have 1 department in these online schools, which is called Engineering and Scientific Mathematics. This is the course. The course that I'm going to introduce to you is called the Matrices and Basic Calculus for Non-Measures. I will mention some of the universities that when I've been visiting their some of the universities when I've been visiting their prospectus, they mention the same name, they mention the same course for the first year. So the year of study is first year Engineering and Scientific Mathematics. Why it is called non-measures? Because in many universities you find also there are some students who used to pursue pure mathematics at university level. Okay, so then the focus of this course on even the entire online undergraduate polytechnic is focusing on science and also focusing on engineering. So in these modules, according to the curriculums or according to the TCU formality, they used to learn it, or they used to recommend us teachers to teach you in 2 ways. By teach you by using lectures that I will be teaching you, it means we call them lectures, and also by using the tutorial solvings. It means that tutorial questions about a particular lecture, maybe a collection, maybe 5 lectures. A teacher used to prepare a tutorial sheets. So in these YouTube channels, believe me, you will get even more than what you get in the physical learning. However, this is the supplements of the physical learning. So stay tuned. I will teach you all the lectures in simplified ways, and even I'll solve many tutorial questions about that collections of lectures. So stay tuned. So that's what all about that. What I've written here. This is lecture 00, the general introductions of MT 161, Matrices and Basic Calculus for Non-Measure. Say it, Matrices and Basic Calculus for Non-Measure. One of the beautiful, interesting course in engineering and the scientific courses. So let us go inside the course. Okay, so before, because in this introductory part, I've prepared first of all, just I'd like to mention some of the universities that used to learn some examples. I have 5 examples universities in United Republic of Tanzania. They used to learn this module, okay, but there are more than 20 engineering and scientific universities that used to learn this module. So before I go to the big picture, so I will give you a list of some of the universities who used to learn this module, and also I'll give you the big picture, my big picture of mathematics, and then I will mention reference. It means that there are reference books and the materials for this course. Also, I'll mention the specific objectives of the specific objective that should be achieved by every student at the end of this course, and I'll mention the contents of matrices and basic calculus, and and then even I can mention that I can explain about those contents, because there are 60 topics that we have to cover together and have to teach you in order to accomplish this course. So stay tuned and get prepared to love engineering and scientific mathematics for non-majors. That's the promise that I give you. A warning that I would like just to give you before even I go to the blackboard: Olenjolai does not know everything about the matrices and the basic calculus. I just know small portions of it. But I'm ready to share and I'm ready to teach anybody who want to learn about what I know. I'm still learning about the matrices and basic calculus. To me, mathematics is life, is my life. So mathematics is built in me, just like teaching. Teaching, it has been built in me, just like swimming for the fishes. No any fish that are attending the swimming schools. So to me, that's what happens. So this is the gift that God has given to me. So I have nothing to boast myself. I used to give him all the praise and glory because he's the one who is working in me. So whenever you see me, just see God. Okay, so some of the universities, okay, that offer MT 161, that's called the module code, matrices and basic calculus in Tanzania. You can also make a list in Egypt, maybe in South Africa, because the engineering is common, right? The first university is the oldest University of Dar es Salaam. University of Dar es Salaam, which I used it as a reference to present some other universities, Dar es Salaam. So this, in short, we call it, in abbreviations, we call it Udsm. Udsm, University of Dar es Salaam. Okay? The second university is fantastic. This is in Zanzibar, Iceland. So students who are studying engineering or faculty of engineering in Zanzibar University, right? They also used to learn MT 161 matrices and the basic calculus. So Zanzibar University. Okay? Then the third university, which they used to learn about this, is called the United African University of Tanzania. United, this is established by the Koreans and runs by the Koreans. United University, United African, so United African, the United African, right? The United African, okay, University of Tanzania. University of Tanzania. So this is located in Kigamboni. Okay? They used to train engineering and computer science of Tanzania. Okay? So again, the module, according to my research, you can do even further research and tell me in the comment section you are enjoying this material from which college, from which university, from which street, from which ward, from which district, from which region, from which city, from which country, from which continent. Tell me in the comment sections. I'll be happy to know that you are enjoying this beauty of mathematics. And another university is called the St. Joseph. St. Joseph, okay, University of Tanzania. University of Tanzania, and here for themselves, they have two colleges. There's a College of Health and Allied they call St. Joseph College of Health and Allied Science and St. Joseph College of Engineering and Information. So Oforti of Tanzania, St. Joseph University of Tanzania, especially at College of, they used to call it SG St. Joseph University, or we call it University Oforti of Engineering and Technology, something like this. Okay. For University of Dar es Salaam, you'll find that the COET, College of Engineering and Technology, and also you find the college that called the Core ICT, College of Information, right? College of Information, or yes, we call it the College of Information. COET means that Core ICT. So College of Information and Communication Technologies. Okay. So for number 5, against another university, it's called the Arizi University. They have many courses about land, survey, and etc. But they have also environmental engineering and civil engineering and construction engineering. So they have also a course called the basic calculus. So that is just like an image of what I've been saying to you. Now I would like to take you into interesting part. I call it big picture of 40 of mathematics. What is big picture in my mind and should be also in your mind? Here we have the queen of engineering, which is mathematics. We began this journey of learning mathematics by learning fundamental mathematics. This fundamental mathematics we began at home by counting we call it counting numbers, right? So this we learned it in nursery, and also learned it in primary education. Then after graduating, we passed it, and then after passing, we went the next level, which we call the ordinary. So this is from standard 1 to standard 7, if you do remember. Okay? So when we joined to the O level, which is called ordinary level, secondary school, O level education, which is also began from the Form 1 to Form 4. Just I want to remind you, Form 1 to Form 4. However, that in some of the countries, they just call it, for example, Europeans, Indians, they call it class 9 to class 12. So we have two routes of learning mathematics. The first route, this is common for every student. You have to learn about 30 basic mathematics. And this basic mathematics, you have to learn from Form 1 to Form 4. You cannot opt it. And then another route is also some lovers of mathematics can learn a subject called the additional mathematics. So additional maths, right? So additional maths also is from Form 1 to Form 4. The good news, I have also an official YouTube channel that teaching only O-level science and mathematics subjects. Do you know how is it called? You can see you saw even the links in the beginning or at the end of this video. Okay, so the name of the channel is called Tanzania Online O-Level Seki School, in square bracket Olenjolaim. So when we graduated with these 2 levels, right? So then we went to the next level. So when you go to the next level, we have 3 routes. I want just to show you where are you from in mathematics, and where are you going, and where are you right now. So here we have route, I say 3 routes. You can pursue advanced pure mathematics, and this for our country, we call it Form 5 through Form 6. Okay? And this is called Form 5 through Form 6. In some educational system, we call it class 13 to class 14. Also another route, you can also study basic applied mathematics for some of the combination. So for this one is you can study, if you study PCM, you study PGM, you study PMC, you study EGM, that is. For this one is in case that the students who did the PCB, they want to be doctors or pharmacists, CBG, etc. But another route again, a student can take a route of applied mathematics in particular field. This is applied mathematics in scientific subjects, in scientific and social science, or we call it social science subjects. But this category of applied mathematics, this is maybe applied mathematics in science or applied mathematics in engineering. Okay? So with this one we have 3 levels. So I can take it in. So here we have 3 levels. So here we have certificate level, and also we have ordinary diploma level. It used to be 1, 2 to 3 years in many institutions or universities. The good news, I have an official YouTube channel that teaching only advanced mathematics, advanced physics, advanced chemistry, and the basic applied mathematics for the Form 5 and Form 6 that's called Tanzania Online A-Level Seki Schools in square bracket Olenjolaim. Real there we do a great business. For those who did advanced pure mathematics or advanced educations, they understand what I'm saying. There's a lot of things to cover there, and there are a lot of difficulties that we students used to encounter. But I've prayed to God that to help me, giving me wisdom and skills and even techniques to teach and simplify those concepts so that everybody who have dreams or have visions in science and mathematics can pursue his visions or her visions without any kinds of obstacles like we did ourselves. Okay. So next, so when we graduate with all of these 3 levels, right? So this is combinations of 3 levels. We might also take 2 main routes. We might study higher, we just call it higher, pure mathematics. Okay, this is meanings of measure, because for us engineers and scientific, that we are called the non-majors. So these are the majors. So this is for undergraduate, or in other language you call it for the bachelor level, right? And then it's another route. We can take another route like I did, and even yourself possibly, of learning higher applied mathematics. You know what? In different fields, for example, in engineering, in science, right? Maybe in economics, maybe in meteorology, right? Meteorology, etc. So this also is still undergraduate or bachelor level. In many countries, the year of study might be different, but for this one, in Tanzania, is just a course of 3 years, so first year to the 3rd year. For this one, in most of the institutions of Tanzania, we used to learn the 4-year program for engineering and the science, mostly in engineering, right? So this is the step where you are. And I have this Tanzania, this online undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania is basically focusing to teach you. This is the point where you are. This is the point where we are from as mathematicians. And this is the point where you are. And the point that I want to speak with you about the beauty of higher engineering and the science or scientific mathematics. But when you graduate in this level, you can go for advanced pure mathematics. So that will be the next level for you, advanced pure mathematics. And this is for the master and PhD studies, right? But if you graduate here, again, you go to the next level, okay, advanced or applied. I can call it just advanced special, applied maths, whether in engineering or in science or in economics, etc. But also this is master and PhD studies. So you see how mathematics is beautiful. So we have been learning mathematics from nursery for those who have got an opportunity to go to nursery. Myself, I didn't get an opportunity to go to nursery. I began with primary school. So you see that because You begin with master on this, and then after graduating your master, you go for the PhD studies. Similarly here, after you graduate, you will find some of the modules, even if that when you take it a PhD in telecommunication engineering, there is probability and statistics for that level. So you see that after graduating this level, if you are in this level, there's a next level, a next level. But remember, make sure that whenever you graduate in every level, you have to think how you can apply the knowledge you achieved in that level to solve real world problems. And then I advise you should not go to the next level if you didn't identify what are you lacking. And if you're lacking about a certain knowledge, then you have to ask yourself, can I learn it myself, or should I go to the university or a college or institution? So that is my advice. So that is the big picture in my mind, and also I would like that big picture to be in your mind as as a lover of mathematics. I will be transforming you to love mathematics for the rest of your life at your university or at your university or at your college. So that's the big picture. So build it in your mind. So whenever I sleep, I get up, I think about that, about mathematics. So the next thing that I wanted to share with you in this in general introductions of matrices and basic calculus, I want to share with you reference books and materials. Reference books and what? And the materials. Reference book and materials for that use the authority of MT what? 161 as a course code. The first fundamental, we call it a fundamental course outline, fundamental material. This we call it course outline. Say course outline. I know that some of the students, not some, I think all of you, except those who are supplementary, if you are learning this module, so you are joining to the particular university, and then so you are taking these programs, I know that you are come from either ordinary diploma or advanced educations or advanced level. So you have to adapt and to learn how the university educations is going about. Okay? Course outline. This will be provided by what? By the course master. So by the professor, by the doctor, by the teacher, course master. Simply call it a teacher. Okay? So you have to ask in the first lecture, you can ask him, sir, please, or madam, can I have the course outline for this course? Yes. So that is. So for example, for myself, I have course outline for University of Dar es Salaam. That's common. Okay? The second reference book for basic calculus and matrices. So this is, we call it MT161 course outline. Okay? The second reference book is called the Crazy. And the book is called this is the Hausa Advanced Engineering Advanced Engineering Mathematics. Advanced Engineering Mathematics by K. Krezig, and the names of the book is Advanced Engineering, Relay, and you should also have the 8th edition that has been written or edited in 1998. So that's the second reference book. It's called the Advanced Engineering Mathematics. Say with me, Advanced Engineering Mathematics. So there are many reference books that you can use for this course, on learning this course. I have already mentioned the two, MT 161 course outline, and the second one is Advanced Engineering Mathematics. And the third book is called this is outside by the pie. By A.C and I.M. Colors. Okay, colors. And J.A.Fairley. Okay, and the name of the book is Mathematics for Engineers. See, very interesting book. Mathematics for Engineers. Mathematics for Engineers and Scientists. And Scientists. John Wiley and Son, these are published. John Wiley and the Son. So that's the third reference book. The first reference book, this we call them textbook, right? Textbook. So textbook. Okay, then so textbook and materials. Okay. The first reference, this is authored by Ramana B.V., who edited this book in 2007, and the book is called the Higher Engineering Mathematics. Higher Engineering Mathematics. Higher Engineering Mathematics, Tata, and publishers are Tata McGraw here. The fifth reference book that you may use on learning this course is called the Mathematics for Electrical Engineers. For electrical engineers. You can have soft copy of this material, of this reference book, reference textbooks, and the computing by Mary Attenborough. Add the fifth reference book that you can use with this or to learn this course. The sixth essential reference book is, we call it your class lecture notes from your teacher. Class lecture notes. So class lecture notes. 36 reference material, and this is by, will be given by the teacher. Very important for you to go through it. The 7th recommended reference material is, so the 7th is called the lecture notes of MT 161. Maybe in your institutions or in your college or in your university you have a different module codes. Don't worry about that. The issue is just the contents. Okay? So MT 161, best it means matrices. Let me just, this is in case of your module code is the same. Matrices and basic calculus, prepared by Olenjolaim, the man who is teaching you. Okay, so those are the reference materials that I recommend, but that is not enough. I have also some other material, some other references. Number 8, you can also use online or internet books and writing and notes or in material. Okay, online use internet books and notes. So that's all about. You should have at least 4. There are 8, at least 4 reference material, whether soft copy or hard copy. Okay, so now let us go to part B, where that the reference material, which I call them question and answers books and writing material. So here we have number 9. The first question and answer material is tutorial sheet for the basic calculus and the matrices. Tutorial sheet, very important. A tutorial sheet, I will show you in the next lecture. I will show you how does it look like. A tutorial sheet. This is a sheet which a module master, a course master, or a course teacher, or a teacher who is teaching that course has to prepare many questions, which will be testing your understanding, or will be teaching you the different concepts that you've covered in lecture, right? In lecture. So then it means that you will be broken into small groups of students, maybe of 10 students or 10 students, and then you have kinds of the tutorial solving. And the tutors will help you on solving problems which you fail to solve yourself. But make sure that you go through it yourself. And you get those tutorial sheets are very important because they will expand your understanding concerning about a particular concept. So tutorial sheets supporting of the course. So, and then tutorial sheets, I say that it give you a list of maybe of 5 lectures, or maybe there are 5 lectures, that is maximum number, which may be teaching about something, or teaching about a certain topic. So make sure that you have tutorial sheets of 40 of the course. I will share with you some of them. Then the 10th reference material that you need for this, to master this course, you also need a past paper, and you have to go through them. Past papers, say past papers. So past papers. So for the past papers, you may need to have test 1 for the matrices and basic calculus of your college, of your university. You might need also to have past paper of test 2. You might need also to have UE. It means a past paper for university exam. We call it university exam. Okay, but we know because we are beginning the journey, in short, at university level, we call it UE, university exam. And even some other past papers also, which will be essential for your assignment. Maybe we give us an assignment, so we need also past assignment. Assignment. Right? Then the 11th reference material, you need to have a scientific calculator. Say scientific calculator. So you need to have scientific calculator. And here I recommend for this course, because you'll be using scientific calculator on solving many problems. So I recommend Casio function 991 MS. Okay? So you have to make sure that you have it. In case that you have it during your advanced level and you solved it, I would like to say, I'm very sorry to hear about that. But I would like to say also, it's not a bad thing. You can also buy a new one. So this is the Casio 900. So it is Casio function 991 MS. This is the display, right? And these are the buttons. All of these buttons, they have particular functions. There's a statistical functions, complexity function, for example, that if you turn on, you can find compounds. This is complexity, you can solve complexity, standard deviations, registration. This is all about complex number, equations, matrices, vectors. So because possibly you are from advanced level, you know the importance of scientific calculator. So in all the 4 modules of 4 courses of engineering and scientific mathematics, you will need a scientific calculator. So when you buy it, keep it. So in case that you lost, or maybe you don't have it, or you sold it, or you left it to your young brothers or young sisters, don't worry. I have a good news for you. You can read the descriptions of this video and even all other videos, and you'll see how you can order this scientific calculator online, and I can ship it to any university that in United Republic of Tanzania. So you can see the shipping cost and how much does it cost. And believe me, because I use this scientific calculator for more than 10 years, I will try my level best to make sure that I will sell to you we call original scientific calculator, not the fake ones, because there are also fake ones, fake scientific calculator of functions 991. So that is now the good news, and this is all about reference materials and and notes that reference materials and books that you need to learn and to master and to enjoy matrices and basic calculus. So before I end my session, okay, I'm about to end my sessions, I would like to share with you topics, okay, topics or chapters that we are going to cover in this course. Chapters of 40 of matrices, right, and the basic calculus, okay, according to TCU, basic calculus. Basic calculus. At University of Dar es Salaam, the module code is MT161. So, you have to learn 6 chapters in this module, right? And I will teach you all these 6 chapters for what I know. The first chapter, we call it vector algebra. Vector algebra. The prerequisite of this module, of this course, is advanced mathematics or engineering and scientific mathematics course that you learn during your diploma. So the first one is called vector algebra. I will explain what are we going to cover there. The second topic is called the matrix algebra. So it's called the matrix algebra. I will also explain the areas of concentration, so what are we going to cover. So you have to compare with your curriculum. In case something is missing, let me know in the comment section so I can record a video to add what is missing. Determinant. Okay, determinants. So the said topic is called determinants. You know the fundamental and advanced determinants are the part of matrices, but we'll take you into the next level. We just repeat the fundamental, but we take you into the next level, which is equivalent with undergraduate level. So the first topic that we teach you in this course is called the complex numbers. I know that you learn complex number in second semester of third year for those who are from ordinary diploma, but you have decided to join the TCU universities or colleges. And I know for those who are from advanced level, you learned complex number as a sixth topic during your Form 6 studies. I used to teach it also. So in case you forgot them, you have to refer. Okay. And then the fifth chapter is called the limits and the continuity. The limit and continuity. Then the sixth chapter that I will teach you is review of differentiation. Review of differentiation. So we review what you know about differentiation. You cover differentiation during your ordinary diploma studies, and also you cover differentiation during your advanced studies in the subject called the calculus. So these are the 6 chapters that we are going to sing the song. So the songs that the song is called the Matrices and Basic Calculus for non-measures, and these are the verses and chorus and bridge to the song, and intro and outro, right? So we'll be singing this song together. Don't worry about that. So let's just need to promise that I will be with you on learning all these 6 topics. I don't know everything about those 6 topics, but I know a little portions of it, and I'm ready to teach you what I know. So, before I explain in details about what I'm going to cover, because in each topics I'll be writing the contents of each topic. So I would like just to mention the prerequisite. Prerequisite of what? Prerequisite of matrices. Okay, matrices and what? And basic calculus. Okay, what should you refer? What should you know in advance? What should you recall? Basic calculus, right? For non-measures. For non-measure. Because also even measures, also they do learn it. So there are 2 prerequisites. Number 1 is advanced mathematics. And if you check for these topics, you need to recall vector. What's all about vector? This is the 6 topics in advanced mathematics. You need to recall matrix. This is the Form 5 topic. You need to recall determinants. It's a Form 5 topics or subtopics. You have to recall complex number. That's the Form 6 topic. You have to recall limits and continuity. So this is a little bit. We used to introduce to the advanced students, but we deep. It means that we dig it when we are in undergraduate studies. So limits and continuity we just used to introduce at the beginnings of differentiation. However, that we don't insist a lot. So this might be a new topic for you. Then review of differentiations. That's the 9th topic of the Form 5 level according to the new syllabus. And then the second, for those who have come from ordinary diploma, you have to recall, or you have to remember that engineering, so we call it engineering and the scientific modules, because for the native, we call them modules, right? Or courses, right? For what? For ordinary diploma. Okay, ordinary diploma. For native, we used to write like NTA, National Technical Awards, NTA level 4 to NTA level 6. So these are the reference book. In every topic, I will mention the contents, that what should you cover in algebra, in vector algebra, in matrix. I will mention contents of each topic. So this is general introductions for the whole module. So in every topic, I will mention this contents or the subtopics, or there's the subtopics and concept that you have to cover in that particular topic. So the good news, so you have to remember what we taught you in these 2 levels. In case you forget everything concerning about advanced mathematics, don't you worry. God has answered that questions for you, or your need. How? I have official YouTube channels that called the Tanzania Online A-Level Seki Schools in square bracket Olenjolaim, where I used to teach all the 18 topics of or chapters of advanced mathematics. So you can review. However, that you forgot them, so you left the materials, you stayed at home, you went to the army, maybe for 3 months, yes, you forgot everything, you did everything. Don't panic. God knows well about your situations, and this is the time for you to wake up. In case also you forget everything about engineering and scientific modules for ordinary diploma, and hence you are beginning panic right now at the beginnings of the course. Don't panic. God has prepared a right answer for your need. And the right answer is, I have an official YouTube channel that's called Engineering and Scientific, it's called the Online Diploma Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania in square bracket Olenjolaim, where I used to teach you all the 6 modules for ordinary diploma according to the NAT syllabus. So you see, so you are happy. But again, you know that all of these modules and the contents, we are taking care about your mind. It means that something which is invisible, your mind and your brain. But the human being is just a combination of heart, or we call it your heart plus soul plus flesh, right? So we are taking all about your mind and brains, what we are teaching. But to me, that's not enough. You will lack something in life. What are you going to lack? The heart always is fed by the word of God. I have also other 2 official YouTube channels that I used to teach the truth and the truth about the word of God according to the Bible. The Old Testament and the New Testament. And those 2 YouTube channels are called, the first one is called the Ufalme Mbinguni Umekaribia Tanzania in square bracket Olenjolaim. And the second one is called the Kingdoms of Heaven Come in Tanzania in square bracket Olenjolaim. So in the second channels I used to teach the Word of God by using the English Bibles and by using English from the beginnings of the sermons to the end, or from the praise. We used to get the time to praise God, to worship God. It's very interesting to learn, to ask questions about the Word of God, to ask questions about human life, to ask questions about what is going on right now in the world, to ask questions about seasons, about God's blessing, God's choices, about sins, how to gain salvation. So the good thing in those platforms that I invite the viewers or the listeners or the students, or whatever that you can call them, just to learn with me by asking questions, and I give you the chance to ask questions, and I'll try my level best by the guidance of the Holy Spirit to answer your questions. So there's a lot of things that God has hidden in my heart, so that it's a time where when God said that it's a time for you to release, because I'm not ready to die with what God has put to me for the benefit of the present and future generations. I'm ready to release. So that's the end of this lecture 00, the general introductions of matrices and basic calculus. I believe that you have enjoyed. To me, I have been happy and enjoying what I've been telling you from the beginnings. Now it's almost about an hour since I began to this. So I'm very happy, and even I'm find that I'm peaceful in my mind, because I have been pregnant on all of these informations which I want to share with you who is watching right now. I thank God who has given me the gift of teaching, because He built it in me. He built it in me. I thank God who have been preparing me and gave me this chance to teach you and to share with you those few information. And I thank God for you. And I thank you also for taking your time to listen to me and to watch me step to step, word to word. Repeat this video several times until what I've been saying, because it's not me who have been saying, it is God in me who has been saying to you. So until everything that I've said is built in your mind, so that you can succeed in your academics. So I would like to invite you in the next lectures of all of these 6 topics of matrices and basic calculus, possibly you might have more than 30, or even it depends, for 30 to 40 videos or lectures. And I used to break these lectures into small slices, that lecture 01A and lecture 01B, right? So make sure that you watch all the videos. I invite you, join me in the next sessions, in the next lecture, and I will be happy to be with you during your life of university life. I'm praying for you. Please pray for me. This is the great job actually that I can do it by using my own intelligence or understanding. Stay tuned. May God bless you. See you next time.